Good Lord and ladies, we finally made it. What an absolute catastrophe upon catastrophe, layered on catastrophe, needed as in both not needed at all, but to make the bread of more catastrophe, a loaf of catastrophe really on top of it. It turned into one of those, what they call them when, what are those weird things Americans eat that are sort of nice? Pretzels. Pretzeled into another catastrophe. It's all right, love. Don't worry, love. I'll just put 5 minutes on it. They won't mind. They're quite cool. They'll hang around for 5 minutes. It went up to 124 people at one point, and we're back down to 53. Oh, they won't hang around when you've moved it 50 minutes, though. And that's understandable. But it should be marzipan. It should be in the description. Don't tell me I didn't put it in the description. That's going to be an absolute shocker. Because of all the things I should be doing, it should be getting the grift on. Good Lord. Let me have a look. Well, the numbers are climbing back up now. But if I didn't get all that in the script, I did, you cheeky little entrepiner. That's obvious. That's the word for someone who pines for entropy, of course, an entrepiner. I'm all right with a bit of tit when I've got a t-shirt on. I like to get it about there. Yeah, I don't know about that bluage. I wonder if I can. I shouldn't really be wasting this kind of time after the time I've wasted, but I think I can maybe press a few buttons and get a bit of didn't mean that one. Oh, or that one. Oh, hang on, and then we go back. Oh, hello. And then we go back down there, and it's exactly the same as it was when I started, which is good. Right, so let's not mess around because we've got nothing to talk about, and I don't want to waste any more time not talking about it because that would be absolutely terrible. Hello, Dennis, who's quick in there with pretzel logic, aka Pretzik, aka Pretz or Pretzchick, Pretzik. There you go, aka Pretzik. But let's get this grift out of the way. Let's see if I can do it without it closing down my StreamYard. I mean, we've got it coming at us from all angles. We've got the haters. Honestly, right? You know, I don't want screenshots. I don't give a shit about these people sending me screenshots. And a bloke wrote to me today, a lurker wrote to me today. He said, "Listen, I know you don't like screenshots and that." He said, "But one bloke tweeted about you 40 times today, and he gave me his name, and I've never heard of him. And it's a real geezer. I think it was 42 times or something. This geezer's just sitting there going, digging up things from my past, like my comedy show, Sex with Children." See, that was the whole joke about that show. It was my experiences of being abused. And these absolute spurgs find it, and they're like, "No, we've sussed him out. Look at the national, look at the PA lot. They keep calling me the PA lot. What am I to do with PA? I like Mark. I really like Mark. I really respect him. And when anyone ever gives him a load of mouth and says I'm a bit suspect about that bloke, I will defend him to the hilt because I think he's actually one of the few people who's doing something that might actually work. And Laura as well. But that's it. I know them. I know them. Yeah, that PA lot. I know them. I've never been to an event of theirs, ever. I've never, ever been to an event of theirs. And that's it. And when I was on their channel, I argued with them. I outright asked Mark if he was a Nazi. What was the other funny thing? There was something else that was quite funny about it. I can't remember. I was like, when Gavin Bobby went on their show, he kind of he argued with them, and Mark's all right with that. Just argue respectfully, and you can have it all right. But that's it. That's all I am. That's how much of that movement I am. So they find this comedy show, which I'd like to point out that sexual abuse isn't very nice. And it's, if you want to make comedy out of that, and that's your choice. But then for 20 years later, some spurg to try and use it against you to get at your politics, and to get at your politics wrong, to get it wrong as well. He made a show about paedophilia. No. These people. So anyway, we've got those fuckers all over the place. I mean, I'm thinking of setting up like a little job share scheme, like, low IQ job share. Not trades or anything, not stuff that requires ability and practice and basic arithmetic and things, but like a trade share, like the trolley pusher at Sainsbury's and things like that, and see if I can get that lot something to do, something that they can engage with, and for the first time in their lives feel wanted and needed. So maybe, if you know any of those kind of jobs going, like people who pick adverts off of street lamps and things like that. Let's all club in the job share and see if we can keep these people busy. Might keep them off my streets. We got YouTube doing me over like absolute. So someone wrote to me the other day and said, I can't find your channel. I said, just search Dangerfield. He said, yeah, but I'm getting 30 pages of Rodney Dangerfield. I said, yeah, but put Chris Dangerfield. He said, nothing. And that's not the first person. I can find it occasionally, but sometimes you just cannot find it, which is nice. I was nearly at 30,000 and I will be below 20,000 soon. I'm going to make some normal videos, and because you can play the algorithm a bit more like that. Like when I do a stream like this and I give it a silly title, it's a Scrubs doing it. It's a Glorious House of Scrubs affair. But when I actually do a stream and I give it a proper title, they're when the real numbers come up, or when I have a guest come along. So I might have to do a little bit of that. But today, girlfriend said, how do you fancy crispy chicken wings? Yeah, she said it in that North Kent accent as well. Yeah, my missus from Phnom Penh went, how do you fancy some crispy chicken wings? And I said, you know what? That sounds great. I said, I'm streaming though. I said, how long will that take? She went 30, 40 minutes. And so I've looked at the old ticker and I've gone, all right, that sounds lovely. Hour later, she's got the stuff together to do it. I'm just thinking, fuck it. And I'm making cheesecake. Listen to this. I'm making blueberry, papaya, and raspberry cheesecake for afters. But that was in the fridge, setting, like long before she'd even got her chicken in the oven. But I have to say, they were very, very good. I mean, I hope you're not hungry, but have a look at that. And because they were baked, hang on, let's get some focus. Look at that. Because they were baked, they're not all oily and grotty. They're all crunchy and delicious. I'll tell you what, we polished off so many. There's about 50 chickens walking around with no feet at the moment. There's a problem with that sentence. Anyway, Lovely. We've got 124 in now. Right, let's get the grift on. Lovely to see you all here. I'll tell you what, Fionn, they're really good, and they're better than I've ever made them. I'll get the recipe and I'll put it up here because I've never used eggs from a batter before. And she's used cinnamon, she's used paprika, black pepper, salt, bit of MSG because they do out here. It's like there's salt in it, but you know, nothing. The weird is a weird thing when you hear people go all that Asian cooking, all that MSG, and people say, yeah, but we use salt. The amount of MSG they use compared with the salt we use, I'm starting to believe the argument that I've read in many a cookbook that the MSG is actually better for you, because it's like saying, let me try and find an example. Let me try and think of an example. Well, alcohol's not that good for you, is it? Alcohol's not that good for you. So you could have a chicken dish with wine in it, or you could have like a let's think, or you could have like a grouse dish with whiskey in it, right? And people would say, yeah, all that whiskey though in your grouse, that stuff's bad for you. You know, that's 40%. Whereas your white wine in your chicken is about 10%. But then when they say, yeah, but it's 2 bottles of white wine for every one chicken, and there's 4 chickens going in for the dinner party, so that's 8 bottles of wine. Whereas the whiskey in the bit of grouse, it's the lid. It's 1 lid per person. Yeah, I think I've explained that exceptionally well. And I will be applying for a job, Dangerfield's Kitchen Disasters, very soon. DKD it will be called. And I hope to see you all there. Well, there ain't no meat on Fridays for me, so of course I want a steak. Is that a Catholic thing, Moslab? You're on a fish, are you? You eat fish on Fridays? Yeah, it's as soon as you can't have them. As soon as you can't have them, that's when you want it, isn't it? That's the problem with anal sex. Anyway, lovely to see so many familiar faces and familiar names. Lovely to see you all turning back after obviously realising, you know, that it kept moving and moving and moving. It certainly does. It certainly does. The temperature, well, it doesn't always, actually. There are some alcohol dishes where you deliberately don't heat it up enough so the alcohol burns off. I mean, you should have seen Mrs. Meehanit's Christmas pudding that I steamed. I will tell you now, me and my missus were pissed out of our heads eating that. And I'm not joking. We were sitting on the big beanbag with 1 bowl of about 2 litres of whipped cream in it. You see how much whipped cream I like the other night. With this steamed homemade Christmas pudding, which was so nice. And I steamed it here, so she made it and I had to steam it. And we're about halfway through it, and my missus is just crying with laughter. Absolutely giggling. Oh, Moslab, yes, but I do it all year, not just through Lent. Oh, there you go. I don't know anything about the Catholic Church, to be honest with you. I was educated at Church of England school, where you learn nothing about the church or England. It's quite peculiar how that turned out. Oh, Dan had a pint of Tetley's in my spam butty. It worked out all right in the end. Now, oh, Dan, I'm guessing that was one of those accidental recipes where there you were, 2 separate items. Had one, leant over, took a tumble. Here it was. Ah, fuck. I wanted that. Oh, and I wanted that. And there's not another Tetley's in the fridge. and I haven't got another spam butty? Or have I got a Tetley's spam butty served in a glass? Cocktail stick, cocktail umbrella, olive, open your mouth, hold your nose, pour it in. Who needs to know? Lovely. Campbell's laughing. Must have just noticed his gear stick had a bit of poo on it from last night. Hello, Glenn. Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you. Yes, English weather. The afters is going to be lovely. Papaya, raspberry, blueberry. Is it blueberry or blackberry? I can never remember. I know what they look like though. And I'll put a little bit of icing sugar over those through the old sieve. Hello. Imagine someone come around your house, right? I want you to actually imagine this. I want you to put yourself there. Imagine you're at home and your missus is there and your kids are upstairs doing what they do, going out of their nut on the computer because it's designed to send people crazy. And your neighbour comes around who you've never met before because he's your neighbour, and no one knows their neighbours anymore. And he's got the same accent as you. Well, the same accent as you and me, let's say. And he comes around and goes, "Hello, mate, you couldn't do us a favour and lend us your seed?" You went, "What, sorry, mate?" And he went, "Yeah, I was just wondering if you could lend me your seed." And then you want what, Steve? "No, I was just wondering if you could lend me a seed." I want numbers in the chat. I want how many times would you put up with it until you said, no. Until, right, how many times would you put up with it until, one, you got him to write it down, or two, you just said, "No, I ain't got one," and shut the door? "Hello, mate. My missus is doing some cooking. Have you got a sieve?" Moody Edge ain't having it. Nothing. RJ Sitch is just like, nah. Marzipan's on two. Moody Edge, no. Rusky's showing a little bit of a communal spirit there. He is twice. James says forever because I'm a cuck. Yeah, but James, I'll do it forever, not because I'm a cuck, because it would be the most amazing evening in. Imagine just going, "No, can you just ask once more?" "Yeah, certainly, mate. I need a sieve." And I'll go, what you after? Sieve. Our pal is shutting the door in his face. Tacticus Kilgore is an instant fuck off, mate. There you go. But what I like about that is you actually put mate on the end. You double bubbled him, didn't you? Fuck off, my mate, me old mucker. Ben Max giving it 2. Rusky Tube wants a camera. He wants to get it up on YouTube. He wants it to go viral. The famous "Can I borrow your sieve?" man. Charlie Sparkles missed a question because Charlie Sparkles was typing. You should go next door, Charlie, and ask your neighbour if they've got a sieve. Right, anyway. So who was it? Where was that? William said give him a colander. But then they'd come back and go, "Yeah, hello, mate, thanks for that, but the L's are too wide." And you'll go, "Oi, mate." You'll go, "Oi," to your missus. You go, "Oi, love, come here. Problem with the colander." "Yeah, thanks for trying, love, but the L's are too wide." Oh, there you go, Andrew. There's an hole in my sieve, dear Liza, dear Liza. There's about 5,000 holes in my sieve, dear Liza, 5,000 holes. What's the next line? Not of that version. Come on, someone must know. This is classic British history. Well, mend it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. We'll mend it, dear Henry, dear Henry, mend it. With what shall I mend it, dear Henry? I'm bored of that already. And then it gets to the end, and what is it, of course? Well, I need some water. With what shall I carry the water, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what shall I carry the water, dear Liza? With what? With a bucket, dear Henry. Oh, it's lovely, isn't it? We used to sing that. We used to sing that when we were at primary school, and I loved it. I just loved this. There was something wonderful about the circular nature of it. For our American brothers and sisters, or anyone who doesn't know it, it's a man and a wife basically, and there's an hole in his bucket, and he's the divvy husband, and he don't know how to fix it. So the wife says, "Well, fix it," and he don't know how to. She tells him. He don't know where to get something from. She tells him he has to do this. Blah 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 blah, and it gets to the bit where he needs some water. And she says, "We'll get some water." Oh, the Yanks know it, do they? All right, okay. Hello, Sarah, my love. Wasn't it lovely talking the other day? Wasn't it absolutely lovely? It was lovely until you went, and then I felt a little bit used. 5 a.m. No, it's all right. I'll give my time to Sarah. Done a lot for me, and it turned out she had company already. That is an absolute classic. There was an old lady who swallowed a fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die. She swallowed a what is it? I know an old lady who swallowed a spider that wriggled and tickled inside her. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed the fly. Perhaps she'll die. I know an old lady who swallowed a cat. Swallowed a cat? Fancy that. She swallowed a cat to catch the spider that wriggled and tickled inside her. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed the fly. Perhaps she'll die. What is it next? There was an old lady who swallowed a dog. I think I've added that one. I think I've invented that one. Hang on. Let me get it right. There was an old lady who swallowed a washing machine. I don't know why her insides are so clean. There's something mean. The Mean Machine was a good film about American football in the 80s. There was an old woman who swallowed a tramp. I don't know why, because he smelt like a vampire. Funeral pyre. She swallowed a funeral pyre to catch the death. I don't know why people strangle underarm. Perhaps they'll come to no harm. And that's my version of it. So, if you want to go with it, go with it. Right, let's get this grift on, because this is going nowhere, and I can't imagine why. The quality of this content. Weren't me and Semi-O-Gog excellent earlier? Thank you, William. Thank you, William. All it takes is someone with a certain parallaxical kind of angle to fill in the gaps, to bring it all together. Give us a 1 in the chat. True story here. Give us a 1 in the chat if you thought me and Semi-O-Gog was entertaining earlier, or give me a 2 in the chat if you thought me and Semi-Agog was a letdown earlier because we didn't talk about what we said we were going to talk about, or give me a 3 if you don't care. Not that you don't care because you don't care about us or that. You just enjoyed it or you didn't enjoy it. It didn't have anything to do with us talking about what we said. We were. You get what I'm saying. So let's see where we're going. Oh, amazing! I love you, bloody beautiful bastards. Look at the Unos on that. It's as if I've just gone to the Daytona. I kind of know what that is. Sort of Daytona, Americans who drive cars and that. But every car is a Fiat Uno. It's just like a sea of Unos. It's like a tsunami, not a tsunami, like a unami. It's an Uno army. There's no military people there though, so it's just a Uno. We're back to 1 again. So let's have a look. John Manimoo is surprised it never caught on, Chris. I don't even know what you're talking about, Manimoo. So there you go. Years the Eunuch says Dangerfield is a delight. Yeah, I'll go with that. Nice one, Years. Ben Mack, very nice. Wriggles his tickle. It wriggles and tiggles inside him. Look, he's even got it. There was an old Wriggle who swallowed a butterfly. I don't know why Wriggle swallowed a butterfly. Perhaps he'll get into like some Kafkarian cocoon and become his own beautiful, wonderful, real-life butterfly with a life of about 2 weeks before one day just losing energy and falling out of the air and being crumpled on the floor by a man wearing Wellington boots who has no interest in butterflies whatsoever. So I'm sorry it had to come to that, Wriggle, but up until that point, you were smashing it, man. You brought the house down. Right, the grift. Here we go. Let's get this going. Let's turn this into a feature event. Hi, welcome to my internet feature event. You can support this channel using the super chat function, which is the $, which is just over there somewhere. It's just at the bottom of the YouTube chat, right? Easy as pie. Or you can use Entropy, preferably use Entropy, because Entropy, you don't give any money to YouTube and they tax me half the amount that YouTube do, which is significant. Now, the link to Entropy is in the chat, but it's also in the description. So if you need it and you can't be bothered to ask me, it's in the description. And I just want to see a sea of entropies. Anyway, where were we now? Wolfie wants to know if SB is comfy. She was looking comfortable the other night while we were talking, I'll tell you. Couldn't sit still. She was spinning round. It looked like she was sitting on a record player. Smith W says he's a smeghead, which is all right. Foot golf's coming home. Our good friend Griff there. There was an old lady who swallowed some smack. No doubt she'll be back. She got it finally come out and she unwrapped the clean film. It smelt of her own poo, but that didn't stop her sticking it into her veins. It never does. There you go. Years is saying that I have an acerbic wit as well, which is nice. 42, Pagan the horse did it. What? The horse named Pagan did it? I did notice that Pagan said that I know an old woman who swallowed a horse. She's dead, of course. But I mean, imagine she was in prison, right? What do you want for your final meal? An horse. I want a nag. I want a Gigi. That's what I want. And they give it to her, right? It's absolutely massive horse. And she's sitting there, and they've cooked it all up nice and that, and she's sitting there eating it. And the press are there, and they've gone, it's a peculiar choice of animal to have for your final meal. Why are you having it? And she said, well, do you know why I'm in here? And they went, no. She said, well, one day I was going along on my scooter and I swallowed a fly by accident. And everyone thought, hang on a minute. And everyone felt like a gap in their childhoods had been, completed. And they realised that the social justice movement, the progressive orthodoxy, had got so bad that in the same way some Buddhists gently sweep the floor in front of King Buddhist so that he doesn't tread on any insects, meanwhile they're murdering them by the millions, sweeping them out of the way. In the same way, if you are accidentally driving and you open your mouth and a fly goes in and dies, no, you're dead. You're on death row. And now she tried to get out of it. She tried to get out of it, didn't she? While she was sitting in her prison cell. She saw it, didn't she? And she thought, hang on a minute, hang on. If I can get the evidence out of my belly before morning, I'll be laughing. And really, from there, it doesn't take much to be having a horse for your final supper. I reckon food is crap. It should be your final narcotic, or it should be your final pleasure. Okay, Mr. Dangerfield, tomorrow you are going to be electrocuted. We're going to do it rather painfully. There probably won't be enough volts, so we're just going to keep cranking it up, turning it down, adjusting some levers and that. It's going to be absolute agony. But seeing as we are killing you, which is weird because, that's the crime, that's what you done, and that's why we're doing it to you. I know it doesn't make sense, but, what would you like? And you should be able to say, I'd like half ounce of sulfate and 4 Playboy bunnies, please. Can you do that? And for them to go, oh yeah, and then they get that month's edition of Playboy and go, you just tell us the ones you want, and you'll be like, fucking hell. That one. And just pick 4 of them. They all look the same anyway. And any particular sulfate? Well, I'd like some of the old pink stuff, because not that it's any stronger, but it's got cochineal in it, and it reminds me of when I used to mix up my own cochineal to double the price. So there's a bit of nostalgia in there. And I think, to be honest with you, when you're whizzing your tits off having a 5-some with the Playboy models, I think you're going to find a way of getting out of that, Nick. Once you've remembered how glorious life can be, you're gonna like those mothers who's like the Hulk being the archetype, I suppose, is the Hulk, Dr. Bill Bixby. When the old lady's kid gets trapped under the car and she goes, no, Tommy. And you're like, wow. And little Tommy just comes out. Now, no one else witnesses this except for Dr. Bill Bixby. Bit of a wanderer, a bit of a loner, a bit of your classic American TV character. You know, he's what is it? BJ McKay and My Best Friend's Bear. What he's one of those kind of characters. He's one of the Dukes of Hazzard. He's a Duke of Hazzard, not Daisy, of course. Oh my God, Daisy Duke, just cut my penis off because it's just not fair. Where were we with all this? I hope you're following this. Oh yeah, so much like those mothers that find that strength, once you've been given all that for your last indulgence, you'd find a strength. Now it might not be the power to lift a car, which isn't going to help you, but you might be able to shrink into a very thin line. Imagine like a bit of spaghetti about 20 meters long, and then just disappear through the plumbing. And you could get yourself all the way from, I don't know, it's one half of America to the other half. And then you come out and then you reform. And you're now Spaghetti Man. You've got the special power of spaghetti, which is, just incredible. So I'm not advising anyone go and cause anything to get you on death row to see if you can achieve a master power so that you can get a amphetamine fours up with the Playgirl bunnies. But if you're nearly 70, it might be worth it, is what I'm saying. Might be worth it. There's a lot of numbers coming up. I can't remember what any of them are. I don't know. I don't even know what the question was. Hello, Gaff. Hello, Grego. I know someone's joined. Who's had a joineration? Marzipan's joined? What? I'd have thought you'd have been a member eons ago. Look, there he is. Look, Marzipan, look. Just there he is. Funny character, Marzipan. Sort of like aggressive and rude and hateful. And just when you realise how much you don't want him in your life, you think you're such a lovely geezer, Ian. And, they're the people you want, really. You want those dialectic contradictions to keep you on your toes. Rags has said, mine are fed, hand and sleeping. Okay, that's all right then, I suppose. In some respects that's okay. Hang on. Sorry, I've just realised we haven't sorted out Twitch. But nice one for joining, Marzipan. 38 minutes and no donations. I think I have. I thought this is a delightfully mental stream. Well, these are where they go when I am relaxed, and I've just had this 4 weeks of absolute nightmarish stuff. It's been awful, and I've had real food today. I had a bit of sleep yesterday. I had a lovely chat with Semi-Agog, as you know. So, and also I've got some plans to keep YouTube from the door, to keep the hounds of hate from the door. I've got a few video ideas, and I got the first part of the Crack Diaries transcribed back today, and it's fucking brilliant. So I'll rewrite that, and in a month or two we'll have the 3 parts of the Crack Diaries, and then they'll get published and people can buy issue 1, issue 2 and issue 3. So that's very good. So I've now got a bit of time to be doing a few of the things I like doing. So yeah, no, you did notice it, Yiz, but I am I am in a really good mood. Life's getting good again. I've been an arsehole to my missus, not intentionally, not a like a proper arsehole. You fucking clouting her, but I've just been a bit short tempered and quick to just sort of, and it was all my fault, this whole gig, this whole job thing. Thank you, Hans. That's very kind of you. We're now approaching minimum wage. Birthday tomorrow, 36, burgers and a game of Risk with the family. I was thinking about Risk the other day. I was thinking about maybe re-releasing it, but basically copying it, but with different things at stake. Like a a Risk-based galaxy rather than planet. Anyway, birthday tomorrow, 36. Burgers and a game of Risk with the family. Even if I don't have kids, kind of sad, but I can't complain. Mate, you've got what you've got, and you're going to have a good game of Risk with the family, and you're going to have some burgers, and that's your life, and it is your life, and you'll enjoy it. Nice one, Hans. Happy birthday. Let's have a 36 for Hans. And Hans is a regular supporter, so there you go. Happy birthday, Hans. No, I've only got the one glands. I've only got the one glands. Come on, we've only all got the one glands. Jesus Christ. Does Spaghetti Man stick to the wall when cooked? Doesn't get cooked. Doesn't get cooked. Too. Knowing what a threat that is to the incredible life that he's got ahead of him, stays well away from kitchens. No. Years says, I hope you have a lovely weekend of relaxation and peace, Chris. Me too. And you, Years, and everyone. Well, the beauty is this morning I thought it was Saturday. So I've done the old earn a day. I've earned an extra day at the weekend. So I am absolutely made up. Absolutely made up to have gained a day. Al says it's always good to be part of Dangerfield's LSD flashbacks. Well, while I understand what you're saying, you couldn't be further from the truth. My LSD trips, apart from the one where I had sex with a disabled lady, my LSD trips were, the first one I ever done was a means of production trip, where I understood the means of production, modes of production, specialization. It was a Marxist trip, which for 12 hours is quite hard work on the bloke who's with you, who's just trying to have a laugh. One of my biggest trips when I had 4 penguins, which were without doubt the strongest blotters I've ever had. And before anyone else says, "Oh yeah, those penguins were plenty strong," no, that's just a print, mate. However much acid is on them is someone else's job. But I was walked through the history of language, and it was remarkable. I just laid on my bed, shut my eyes. I had a bit of Steve Reich on for 18 musicians, and I was walked through the history of language, and it was quite something. So unfortunately, my acid trips aren't really what you'd think they were. They tend to be, the word I'm looking for is boring. Dull would also work. Dull would also work. Mundane. I still dream about my ice capades while stranded in Phuket. Best time of my life. Yeah, I had 4 years clean and went to Phuket, done my backing in the gym and got on the old shards. It wasn't the best time of my life. It was fucking intense though. I'll give you that much. What's going on with the old vape now? All sorts of problems. Marzipan's joined. Or am I going backwards? Mousecat is just leaving work, stream and drive. So you're leaving work, but you're gonna be having the stream on in the motor. I like the sound of that. You can use the weight, you can use the gravitas of my delivery to keep the back wheels of your Capri on the road surface whilst taking corners. Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Charlie Sparkles said, Stephen Campbell, aha, I'd been thinking of it not working back in the day, early 90s. Great to hear weird budget British cult comedies have reached you over there. Well, that was a bit out of the blue. I was hoping that might have connected with something else the rest of us were thinking about. Hello, Skin Scar. Nice to see you. Like tripping with Bamba Gascoigne. But tripping with Bamba Gascoigne would actually be quite surreal. You know, it was more... Because LSD doesn't give you any knowledge that you haven't already got. How can it? It's a blotter. It's a microdot. It's a drug. It doesn't give you any more. It doesn't give you what you haven't got. It just allows you to look at it in a different way. So when I get walked through the history of language, I just get to see my understanding of language in a different order and from different angles. You know, I change the object of analysis by the way I approach it and the order in which I consider it. Is it, you know? Yeah, not for everyone, Ragnar. Moslab had a life-changing conversation with a German Shepherd. It's funnily enough, actually, because no, I'm not going there. Imagine remembering Bamba Gascoigne. Have you ever been to Luton? Unfortunately, yes. A friend of mine, you know that midget. Sorry, I know you're not meant to call him that anymore. You know that little spastic. I can't think of his name. What's his name? He's like the famous small person at the moment. Well, he was a couple of years back because Ricky Gervais got him involved. He got the touch of he got the Gervais touch. Come on, what's his name? Not the gnome, no. Probably not a nice thing. Yeah. Warwick Davis, exactly. Warwick Davis. I got thrown a bit by Skin Scar who said Warren, and I was thinking it's near, but not near enough. Yeah, Warwick Davis. So a mate of mine made him a whistle, a bespoke whistle for Warwick Davis, and it was one of the funniest things I've ever experienced in my life. Because first of all, we've got to get a pat. First of all, we've got to hire someone to measure him. So we're ringing up all our measurers because you have them in your books. I wasn't in that game, but my mate was. My mate used to make suits for me on the cheap, and we were trying to get hold of one, and in the end we got one. We went, yeah, tomorrow at 1:00. 1:00. It's at Holland and Sherry's offices on Savile Row. He went, all right. He went, just one thing. And he went, it's always one thing with you. And the problem with your one thing is it soon becomes 20 things. Go on, what's the one thing? He went, he's about 3 foot tall and he's got like no neck. And also his spine, his pelvis, it's backwards and upside down. It's like someone put an Action Man in the microwave and then pretended it was Stretch Armstrong for a couple of minutes and then just threw it away. So nice one, Chris Holloway. Thank you, Chris. Very, very kind of you. Very kind of you. Why isn't my entropy even gone live? That's probably why I'm not getting loads of entropys, because it's not even going live. Let me see if I can sort that out now. Hang on a minute. Entropy's funny old thing, isn't it, eh? The old entropy. You want it to save your life. Right, entropy is working now. If anyone wants to test it, it only takes $30 or English pounds at the moment. There it is, entropy. It's also in the description. Head Wound said, thank you, Chris Holloway, by the way. That's very kind of you. Regular supporter of this chat. Much appreciated. Where's he gone? Head Wound. That's come up on entropy. Said, Minx, blink your Crockett and Jones geezer. Entropy says you're offline. Yeah, I've just sorted it out. Your one came up on entropy. I will be Minx blinking the Crockett and Jones. And you know what? There's a sapphire renovateur, which is just like it's like a shoe cream that brings them to, it's just good for them. But there is also pure mink oil, and some of that arrived last week. Pure, nothing but mink oil. And you just use, imagine you think you had a little bit of plop around your sort of bum somewhere. You only need the amount you'll take to just check. That's all you need of this mink oil, and you can do a whole shoe with one little smear of that. Beautiful stuff. So I will be Minx blinking the Crockett and Joneses tonight. That's a lovely idea. That'll be very relaxing. Mrs. will be asleep by the time. She always says, no, do a stream. I'll be awake when we finish. We can do something nice. I'll go in there and she's going, and I'm like, oh, we can still do something nice, but it's going to come as some surprise to you, I can assure you. You dirty bastard. Thank you, Head Wound. That was very kind of you. Very kind of you. And also a nice suggestion. Anyway, Warwick Davis, this whistle. So that bloke just went, nah. We were cracking up, right? We were cracking up. I went, and I've even gone, hang on a minute. You can't not measure someone up because they're tiny. It's the same money. You're still gonna get the money you'd get for doing someone up. Leon Squared said, anyone got any Veras? Do you remember that? Here we go. Mr. C. I met Mr. C a couple of times at a couple of parties down at Canvas Sands and all that. Problem with him was he was always playing that character. He couldn't stop himself. Anyone got any Veras? Sorted. He goes by the name of he's a good. Nice memory though, Leon. Good call. Anyway, we can't get a single person to measure up a midget. Isn't that weird? You'd think that someone would just say, yeah, all right, go on. Yeah, why not? But they knew that it was going to be weird because the thing is, Skin Scar, the geezer that wears Skin Scar's one gone. Hang on. This ain't the pattern cutter. This ain't the cloth. This is someone who's just going to measure up. You know, so the first stage is measuring up the client. Then the client goes and selects the cloth they want. Then they select the style they want. Then the cloth is cut to fit the style and the midget. But no one would do it. Absolutely no one would do it. So in the end, my mate who never measured anyone in his life, he went, fuck it. He went, I'm gonna do it. And my eyes could not have been brighter. Bright eyes burning like fire. I just thought, I love you, life. Life, I love you. I love the fact that my mate is so obsessed with being famous and hanging around with famous people because he can't get a proper measurer. He's going to blag it. He's going to have his hands down Warwick Davis's pants to earn a few quid and to, you know, oh yeah, I was hanging out. You know, we'd probably go for a few beers with him afterwards. Few beers. 1 pint of beer is probably more blood than he's got in his entire body. 1 beer will put him out cold. What are you going to do then? Steal his wallet? Oh, and then the story just keeps getting better, doesn't it? Anyway, he's turned up the next day. And the joke is, thank you, Hack61. He said, I've missed most of this. Sorry, I was eating my lamb chops. You've missed so much. And thanks for the cockle, mate. You've missed so much, but at the same time, you've missed so little. And you have had some lamb chops. So I think you've balanced yourself out quite nicely. So thank you, Hack61. And a very generous supporter of this channel as well. So, well, yeah, but there's a few bodges, and I always see them because it's just harder. There's all sorts of problems because usually, if you're making, think about it, Sarah. Think about making the bit that goes around the belt, you know, with the belt straps. And the zip fly and all that. It's usually symmetrical, isn't it? Well, old Warwick Davis has got one up here, one slightly tilts here. Warwick Davis's top of his trousers is a Mobius strip. It's like you just keep turning it and it just divides itself into more pairs of trousers. And I am ringing my mate up all night, and I just keep sending him pictures of scissors that I've invented, and I'll show you. I can do it. I'll do it for you now, because they were only crap. I was sending him pictures like this. Hang on. I was sending him pictures like this. I was sending him pictures like this going, maybe you need a pair of scissors like this or something. and they were getting more and more bizarre. And so then it'd be like, don't worry, I've sussed it. I've absolutely sussed it. All you need is a blade that does that, and another one that does that. Yeah, what about that one? What about that one there? That one there. Why don't you knock up a pair of scissors like that? That will get. I reckon that'll get that pelvis cut like a dream. And anyway, by the end, he was shitting himself, going, "Oh, what have I done?" So anyway, he's turned up. I can't even remember what his name was again. What was it? Mini Cooper S or something. Warwick's turned up, and he's just blagging it. But so that he's not just blagging it, he's got the actual bit of paper that you have that has all the proper sizes and all the names and all that. You know, inside leg, all this, shoulder to shoulder, blah blah blah. But while he's doing it, I'm standing the other side of him. So Warwick is looking into his eyes. But my mate is looking over his head at me, and I'm just behind him going, like, just trying to make him laugh. And the bullshit he was doing, he was like holding his tape measure up against him, and he was going, I think that's a 14.5. We'll call that 14.6. It's 14.4. And then just writing it down. I was going, what's that? What have you made? What have you made a 14 for? And he was going, no, it's all right. I was going, no, I just what have you made a 14 for? And he was going, no, you're all right. Just ignoring me, you know. And then, of course, it's trousers time. And Warwick, bless him, he said, can I just take my trousers off? And you can do the inside leg of both sides. And I went, yeah. I went, why don't you have your trousers on the floor? Then you can stand there semi-naked and that won't be weird or anything. Absolutely cracking up. Anyway, I won't do the long version of the story because it was just joke after joke after joke. Like in those days in Holland and Sherry in Savile Row, they'd bring in fucking cognac lists, cigar lists, and all this. And the bloke come and he went, would any of you gentlemen care for a cognac? And I went, yeah, I'll go a cognac. Having a look at the list. Usual working class thing. Not the cheapest one, not the most expensive. Something just below average. You know, but still sort of 70, 80 nicker a glass. Warwick's gone for something ridiculous because I'm in television. And although he probably gets the same, he probably loses rates because of size. Anyway, the geezer's come back in with these 3 glasses of cognac. And rather like brandy, cognac goes in a cognac glass. And so I've got mine and I'm swilling it. And it's coming down through my middle finger and it's all looking good. My mate, who remains nameless, has got his. And I shit you not, the tears that were coming out of our eyes as Warwick Davis was holding this bucket, this fucking glass bucket of cognac between 2 hands up against his chest and like trying to get mouthfuls of it, like drinking it up off his shoulder. We were absolutely crying. And it got to the point then where we were going, just trying to blag it, going, you are just naturally funny bloke, aren't you? You know, anyone else could have done that and you'd have just thought nothing of it. But I suppose that's why you're a comedian, innit? And while he was still not laughing, trying to get a lug of this fucking... It was the same size glasses as ours. But he was like a sixth of our size. So it was just ridiculous. I reckon I can get you a picture. I reckon I can show you this suit. Hang on. I can show you the suit. And if any of you know anything about Schmutter, you'll see how bad it was. And I'm telling you, if you think I fucked up this marketing job these last few days, right? These last couple of weeks, this suit was meant to be made in about 10 days. And it took about 3 months. And no one wanted anything to do with it. You take it to a tailor and say, look, this bit ain't fitting. And then compared to the other side. And you'd go, yeah, but he's like that, isn't he? He's all and they go, well, how am I meant to fix it? Unless you get him in here. And so then we'd have to ring up Warwick and go, can you come in again for a fitting? And it was no one has as many fittings as Warwick Davis did. And it was because we just kept fucking it up because we weren't tailors. Don't get me wrong, we didn't cut the cloth or anything. But my mate measured him up, and my mate didn't know how to measure something up. The cuffs were about 2 inches. The cuffs were about 2 inches too long. And when he said the cuffs look a bit long, my mate's gone, no. He goes, no, they fold back. It's everyone's doing it now. And he folded it back, and the pearl coloured lining sort of shone through and looked fucking hideous. He went, I want them there, he said. He wanted it to look nice rather than absolutely shit. But that's quite a big job because you've got 4 buttons sewn in there, you've got a slit in there, one arm's longer than the other because it's old Dickie Davis and all that. Can you come in for another fitting? It's just we need to make sure your arms aren't too far different. Anyway, I know how I can show you this because the first time it was on telly, the geezer's rung me up and he's gone, oi, Warwick's going on telly with that whistle tonight. And I went, listen, ring him up and tell him not to. I said, ring him up and say to him, you fucked it up, give him the money back because you've cunted him off. That whistle is shit. And he went, I ain't giving him $3,000. And I went, oh, it's 3 bags of sand, is it now? How comes my cut was 300 when you told me it was a bag of sand? He went, come on, man. He goes, I got kids to feed. I went, you'll maybe learn to measure a midget or two and you might be able to get some. Anyway, let me see if I can find it. Because I know what show it was. Hang on. What's his name? Oh, God, tell me it's that. I've got it. What one am I going to show you? I obviously want to show you. Oh, it's that. It's such a nasty whistle. You wait till you see it. Even the styling of it. Even the style. Right, here we go. So when you see this, right? Thank you, Jimmy from Philly Wiped. Greetings from Philly. I need a Dangerfield dictionary to understand you. However, you have managed to make me lol many times, so you've earned this, mate. I'll take that. Lovely, nice one. I need that dictionary too, by the way. I haven't got a fucking Danny LaRue what I'm talking about. But this is the bit that I forgot to mention you because I forgot. But I'll pop that up on there. The actual suit, the geezer, my mate, to save a bit more money, you know, it was all about earning, you know, saving a few quid here and there. He was using offcuts of material from his tailors, mates, because it was for a small person. Or you couldn't, or you ain't got like 1.5 meters of fabric, have you? Like for a three-piece suit for someone like me, 6'2", 86 kilo, you're gonna want about 6 yards of cloth. And I think Warwick's suit was about 2.5 yards 3-piece. But you wait till you see it. You wait. This was, by the way, let me try and think. I've got to try and think when this was made. I was living in Soho, so it was certainly within the last 10 years. I can't think. Hang on, I'm going to have to go back. It ain't that clip. It can't have been that one. It must have been that. Is that it at the Oxford Union?
I did score at football once, though. Little Warwick Davis walked in the door.
I feel a bit sad for Warwick Davis now. The state of this whistle. We made the shirt as well. Well, I didn't. This geezer did. Well, let's just have a little look at this. Let me just work this out. I just want to make sure I get you the right whistle. Right, no, it's that one. It's that one at the the Oxford full address. Hang on. Let me make a phone call. I just want to get this right. I'm going to ring up the geezer that made it. Hang on. Here he is. What time is it where he lives? Oh, come on, don't be a mug. No, that's a shocker. Well, I think it's this one from the Oxford. The shirt looks like it anyway. Here we go. Let's have a look at this whistle. This is about 5 years ago, so I'm thinking it might be that one, but it wasn't that. It was that I think it was that Life's Too Short thing. It couldn't have been 5 years ago. What is that Life's Too Short? Warwick Davis, Life's Too Short. I'm sure it was that, because that's going back a lot longer, isn't it? You're going to have to wait, people, because I don't want to get this wrong, and I want you to see the actual suit. It might be that one, actually. I'm just cracking up at this, seeing this funny bloke in his crappy little suit. Right, well, here are. We'll have a little look. It's only 2 minutes, so we might as well have a look. I think it's this, because this is around the time. This is around the time when it happened. I think it was for that Life's Too Short thing. And of course, have I got the audio? Who knows? Whoever knows. Good Lord, I've just seen the time. My missus is going to be fuming. Right, here we go.
We're shooting a wedding set. Hello, by the way, and welcome to the set of Life's Too Short, coming soon to BBC Two and HBO. We're shooting a scene here where Warwick Davis has been invited to a themed wedding, and he thinks he's the guest of honour, but it doesn't turn out just quite like he thinks. And oh, here is Warwick Davis. Here he is, the star of Life's Too Short. His big break, although he has done things in real life.
Look at that whistle.
Return of the Jedi, one of the Star Wars movies.
What are you in that?
I was an Ewok.
One of the little bear things.
Yeah, well, not really little bears. It was Ewoks were like a species.
Oh, I'll be there. Yeah.
11.
Right, so they just dressed a kid up with a bear basically, and
No, it was about performance and all of that.
not really. It's just running around as a bear. I mean, do you remember any lines you had?
No, I didn't say anything.
No lines.
Look at the state of it.
No, I mean, have you done any acting in films? Acting?
Okay, well,
I don't know what that is.
it was a huge fantasy movie in the 80s. I was the star of it.
Okay, how old were you?
I was 17.
Okay. Have you done anything in the last 20 years where we could see your face and there was acting and lines and stuff?
Okay.
I don't know what that is.
It was a huge fantasy movie in the 80s. I was the star of it.
Okay, how old were you?
I was 17.
Okay. Have you done anything in the last 20 years where we could see your face and there was acting and lines and stuff?
Okay, that was my episode of
It
Extras.
wasn't your episode of Extras. It was Daniel Radcliffe's episode of Extras. It wasn't even said if you were your real name was said. You were basically a dwarf that I kicked in the face.
All right.
Life's Too Short, coming soon. About this little fucking loser.
I mean, you weren't even.
I mean, it's a bit of a
Except you, and you're the one I thought
what's
was
happening? It's a bit of a letdown because
I'm sure that if you did
what's
that,
why can I
they
still
jump
hear it?
like
What's
snakes.
happening? It's a bit of a letdown because you don't actually get to see it in its true unglory, because they probably realised on the day, they probably thought, what's he wearing? But really weird things happen to it. The thing about a well-made suit is when you move in it, it adjusts with you, which keeps you looking good. The thing about a terribly made suit is when you move, the rest of it all sort of goes, oh, Rice Krispies, and just goes all over the shop. And that's what really happened to that suit. It was a disaster. Poor little Warwick. We used to see him around Soho afterwards, and my mate would go, look, there's Warwick. I go, oi, Warwick. And my mate, just get it out of the way. Good Lord. There you go. Well, he must get it all the time, but what with the whistles? No, because if he went to a proper suit maker, someone who knew what they were doing, they'd know how to do all that stuff. It would be difficult and it would cost money. It would take time. But from start to finish, have you got a spare metre and a half of cloth we can use? What, just so that you don't have to buy any new stuff? You know, I'll measure him. Never done it before. Diagonal from back to ankle. What? I was just cracking up when that bucket of cognac turned up. No, it was. And then I said to my mate as well. I said, have you ever seen him wear that suit since? And he went, no. He said, I've never. He said, I've seen him because he always watches out for him. He says, I've never seen him wear it since, ever. He must have known that he got proper shafted. Poor little Warwick, eh? Poor little tiny little Warwick. I don't know. You get them, don't you? You get the good days, you get the bad days, and you get the bits in between that you have to do what you can with. Now I'm going to finish making my cheesecake for my missus. Then we're going to plug the old HDMI in, and we're going to watch a. Let me tell you something just quickly before we go. Over here, there's no fucking pay-per-view. There's no you can't watch this. There's no you can't watch Pirate Bay. And you can get anything. You can watch anything from anywhere, right? And the Chinese are putting out these amazing, these colossal movies, these 3-hour masterpieces that tell you stories of from Chinese history. And the money that must go into them, you know, there's like these scenes where there's hundreds of thousands of actors. It don't look like CGI. And when they're having like fight scenes, it's not the usual sort of, oops, in the background, a couple of people nearly fighting. Every single person you look at is having an actual tear up. They're amazing. Now, here's the interesting thing. And I've talked about this a lot on this channel, about culture being exclusive. Culture's exclusive. It's not for the outsider. It's not for the different people. That's what their culture's for. Our culture's exclusive. We do it, we celebrate it. It's our clothes, it's our history, it's our music, it's our dancing, it's our food, it's our everything. And we do it and we celebrate it and we repeat it to continually show others that they're not part of us, that this is our land, this is our culture. And it's only in the West, it's only in the places of European descent where they actually say, well, your culture's exclusive. And it's sort of like, you're accusing me, you're accusing our culture of being the one thing it needs to be operative. You might as well have just said to me, your waterproof coat is keeping the rain off, because that's the fucking idea. And they've made our culture inclusive. We don't have Christmas holidays now. We have, what is it, the festive season or something, because Christmas holidays is too exclusive. And in doing so, we lose things. We lose our exclusivity, and we have to bring everyone in. Anyone been invited to any of their things? Anyone felt included in any of their cultures? Funny how that don't work the other way around, isn't it? Anyway, listen, I've had an absolutely fantastic stream with you people tonight. I'm going to play us out with a bit of music. Skin Scar dropped another 5 spot. I think he did anyway, or was that the same one? It was the same one, but he got two mentions. See you later, Moslab. Have a cracking weekend. Thank you for moderating the stream. Thank you, Rags, for moderating over on Twitch. We're going to play our bit of music. It's going to give you 2 minutes 20 to make a donation. There's 2 reasons why you've got to make. There's 3 reasons why you should strongly consider making a donation. 1, it gives me money. 2, it was a blindingly hilarious stream. And 3, the people that call me grifters will be at home on their own going, he's doing it again. That cunt's doing it again. That cunt's doing it again. And when you put those 3 things together, it's like biting the apple from the Garden of Eden and enjoying it. You know what I mean? It's just the way I like to explain things. It's Saturday tomorrow, people, and I will see you there nice and early, probably about 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. Have a lovely rest of your Friday. I'll see you tomorrow. Haita!
All the world loves a lover. All the girls in every land are meant to know. The joy of loving is to live in the world of mankind. is waiting for you. Soon the world will be yours for a toy. Music starts to play, night will turn to day. Darkness disappears when the one you love is near. You're in man. All the world loves a lover. All the girls in every land are meant to know. Joy of loving is to live in the.
Well, it's only cheeky git if those kinds of things upset you. I mean, if that's, have a look around your life and reevaluate that little event. Okay?
The world of mankind. There's a place that is waiting for you. A world where the best in life is free. Where time is always spring. Happiness is king. The dreams you dream come true. When the one you love loves you. You're in man.
Yeah, don't forget to get hold on to Yizzy's stream at 6 o'clock. Always a good laugh, always a lot to learn. Always a lot of good thinking going on over there. Kind of compensates for what doesn't go on over here. And I will see you in the morning. Don't forget, glands, face, space.
All the world loves a lover. All the girls in every land are meant to know. Joy of loving is to live in the world of mankind.
Yeah, a few likes would be handy. Not really feeling like going myself at the moment. I hope these cheesecakes turn out all right. I don't even know if she likes cheesecakes, which would be a terrible, terrible shame for me to eat two of them. Dub Power's not going as per usual. Hello, Jess. Ragnar, can't let go of that one. It was a good one though, and I understand why you wouldn't want to let go of it. Take care, people. Ta-da.